Bring your cup and take a seat. Fill it up, coffee, wine, or tea. Come find what you're looking for. A good pour.
Welcome back to A Good Pour. I am Kathryn Good, your host. This is Conversations About Good Work. Today, we have Tara Wyllie joining us. I'm so excited you're here. I know we've talked about this several times, but Tara is the Assistant District Attorney for the 18th Judicial District, which is here in Sumner County. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, Kathryn. I'm really excited to be here.
So, I just said 18th Judicial District. Tell me what that means.
So, in Tennessee, all of the judicial districts, which is where the courts are, divided up. And we're in the 18th here, and we happen to be a single county jurisdiction.
Which means there's enough going on in our county that we can just be a single county.
We're just one county. That's right. And I guess that's can be considered a little bit sad, maybe, but it's good for us because we don't have to travel to multiple courts in different jurisdictions.
Yes. Tell me what an assistant district attorney does.
It's a mouthful, isn't it? So what we do is we handle criminal cases for the state of Tennessee. So anybody that's coming through that's looking at more than a $50 fine and looking at potentially going to jail, those cases are going to come through the court system, and we're going to be there representing the state of Tennessee in those actions.
Okay.
So if somebody's a victim of a crime, then we're going to be in there advocating for the victims. And we're also going to be trying to make sure that justice is served on people that are charged.
Yes. Hard job.
It's a tough job. It is a tough job.
Well, there's all kinds of crimes in our world, and you see a lot of them. So I'm sure it is very, very hard.
We stay pretty busy here in Sumner County. We've had a lot of growth. We've kind of had some unprecedented growth in the last 5 years or so in our community. And with more people and a higher population, you're going to see an increase in crimes.
Yeah, for sure. Just out of curiosity, any specific type of increase that we've seen?
I think that you see more domestic violence cases, more driving under the influence, a lot more driving offenses. And probably we're seeing an increase in drugs, things like that.
Okay.
You're going to see more violent offenses as well.
How does your week look like?
Well, it just depends on.
So, are there court days? Does that make sense? Is it all over the place, or is it organized at all?
It depends on what courts you're handling and what you're doing. There are 13 assistant district attorneys in Sumner County. Okay. I'm only one of them. And we also have the appointed district attorney, Thomas Dean.
Okay.
And so he's a 14th attorney in our office. And so it depends on what court you're working in or handling. And you'll see people that work in the misdemeanor court is the general sessions court. So felony crimes can come through that court, but they're going to get sent on. Unless for some reason, they would be reduced or settled. You can't plead to a felony in the misdemeanor court. So those are the general sessions courts.
Okay.
So, Judge Blanton and Judge McCormick are the two judges that we see in general sessions. You also have Judge Howard. He's the juvenile court judge. And then you're going to go up to the felony courts. You're going to be in front of primarily Judge D. David Gay, or you also might be in front of the new circuit court judge who handles some criminal cases, Judge Jennifer Nichols. So it depends on where your case is as to how often you're in court and what you have going on. If you have a jury trial on, say, a homicide case, it could be a whole week or longer in court. Mm. If you have general sessions, you could have anywhere from 50 cases to 200 if you're covering a docket in the general sessions courts that are coming through in a day. So it just sort of depends on what you're assigned to and what you're doing on that date.
Did you always know you wanted to do this?
I did. Well, not always, but when I was 15, I wanted to go to law school, and my dad has always been a Tennessee highway patrolman. And so I knew that I wanted to be a prosecutor. And that's what I thought I wanted to do at 15. And then I went on to law school, and I did try a couple of other things. Just in law school, I worked at a big firm in St. Louis, and I actually worked in Southampton, New York one summer at a DA's office out there.
Did you go to school?
UT.
Okay.
Go Vols.
Yeah.
Go Vols. But I got a job in Southampton working at their DA's office. It's a Suffolk County District Attorney's office. And I did that in the summer of 2005 when I was what we call, I was a first year law student, but in law school, they call those 1Ls. And that was my 1L summer. So I had finished my first year going into my second year when I worked there. And I didn't really understand, but that summer, the prosecutors were trying cases in the misdemeanor courts. And in New York, in their misdemeanor court, they have jury trials.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And the poor prosecutors, they lost I think they had about 7 trials that summer in the 2 months that I was there. And I watched them and they lost, I think, all of them. And I kind of thought, man, this is really sad. They're working so hard and they're not having any luck. And it seemed kind of like a kind of a depressing field. And so the next summer I tried working at a big firm in St. Louis, Missouri. And I did not like that job very much. So when I came back, I did my character and fitness interview with General Ray Wyllie, who he just retired after.
I just saw him at church yesterday.
Yes. He retired after 45 years as the district attorney here. And he knew my father. And for years, for the entire time that I've been 18 going on 19 years at the DA's office, Ray always does the character and fitness interviews to make sure that people should be licensed.
Yeah.
And he felt like that was an important role for him to play. And so he did my character and fitness interview. And while he was talking to me, he said, would you be interested in a job here? And I thought he was being polite because he knew my dad. And I said, yes, I would. That's what I wanted to do. I was working at a firm in Green Hills doing workers' compensation. And needless to say, that was not my how I had seen myself when I was in law school. But I just passed the bar and that's what I was doing. And you work where you get a job.
Yeah.
And 2 months later, he did call me and he said he had an opening. And I started working for General Wyllie and I never looked back.
And how long have you been there?
18 years. I'm going on my 19th.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had no idea it's been that long.
It's been that long.
Okay. And born and raised here.
Born and raised here.
And like your name's on a map somewhere, right? I mean, so
my family name, Wyllie.
Your family name.
Wyllie. The Wylies got here in the 1820s and they had some property off of Peach Valley Road. And Dad's kind of tracked back the family history. I don't know. Do you know Buzz Black?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, he was very well known in Gallatin and he knew everybody's name and phone number. He recently passed away.
Okay.
But he would always say, you're David Wylie's daughter.
Did he respond or repeat the phone number too?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He knew Dad's number.
Oh wow. That's incredible.
He knew everybody's number. He had like the entire phone book memorized. He was kind of a savant. And, anyway, Buzz always called me David Wylie's daughter. And I'd always kind of be a little, because I am.
Mm-hmm.
I'm David Wylie's daughter.
Yeah.
So.
Did you know you wanted to come back?
When I was young, I don't know that I knew that I wanted to come back. But I have traveled quite a lot. And I will say that this is home.
Yeah.
So I've got one more continent. I need to get to Australia.
You have been to all continents except Australia.
Except for Australia.
I did not.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite?
Man, I have favorite places. I don't know that I have a favorite continent.
Okay. How about a favorite place?
Okay, I would go back to, there's places I would go back to. That's my standard.
Mm-hmm.
I would go back to the Amalfi Coast in Italy.
One of my favorites.
I would go back to Cape Town, South Africa.
I have not been to South Africa.
I would go back to the beaches, the southern beaches of Thailand.
Oh.
And I want to go back to Iceland.
And yeah.
So.
How often do you travel?
A lot before I had children.
Yeah.
They really put the kibosh on it.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. That's amazing. I had no idea if you traveled that much.
I love to travel. To travel. It's hard to do that though with children. I will say that.
How old are your kids?
6. They'll be 6 and 9 this year.
It's very hard to travel.
Yeah.
Those ages.
Yeah. And I mean, to take them somewhere like Cape Town, South Africa or something, I mean, it would just be very cost prohibitive too.
Absolutely.
And you don't have time.
Yeah.
You've got to work. You've got these summer, fall break, Christmas break, and spring break. There's just no time.
Especially, because everyone else is traveling during those times too. Yeah. So it's hard. Yeah. Or do you get bored if you just go to the beach now or something?
No, because I don't hardly get to go.
Yeah. Anywhere.
And in fact, it's really kind of stressful, honestly, to travel with kids. I'm just now getting to an age where it's fun to take them somewhere, as opposed to just like trying to keep them from destroying the place where we are.
What do you think it is about you that has given you that travel bug?
I don't know, but I love to travel. Always loved to travel. Always thought it would be. I always wanted to see the world.
Yeah.
So
I spent 6 weeks in Italy when I was. It was after my sophomore year of high school, which now I'm like, I don't know how that even happened. I was with a host family, which they were lovely, but I mean, I did not speak the language. I'm in a rural Italian town. And then I saw the movie Taken, and I was like, I mean, how did I last six weeks, you know? But it was one of the best experiences ever. That's why I was very near the Amalfi Coast then.
What agency did you go through? The school or?
Well, it was a scholarship through my dad's company. And so it was a kind of a nationwide exchange program, which was great, but it's still just, I mean, I rode a Vespa to the top of a mountain with no one else who spoke English. Like, I just took, I'm sorry, you may not have known that. But the risk I took, I would never let my children,
right,
especially in today's world.
You would not let them do that. You wouldn't let them go on a trip like that.
Well, Claire's going to Greece for spring break, but she's not staying with a host family. She is going with a group of students, right? Yeah. Whereas I would get together with other Americans that were there, but it would be, I had to basically get on, the train by myself at 16, whereas now we travel all over Europe, and I love to kind of lead my whole family. Like, you're getting on the subway, we're getting on whatever. But at that particular time, I probably was bolder than I'm giving myself credit for right now, but still, like,
16 is young.
16, not speaking the language in rural, Italy was a big risk. Looking back on it now.
I've always felt like I learned so much from my travel experiences about myself and about my hometown and about my country, and just sort of learned to love where I was from, but also see other parts of the world, which I think helps you to better understand yourself.
We love to travel too, but I always say, like, the feeling of wanting to come home and knowing you're home, and and that's one of the benefits of traveling. That you appreciate home even more. So anyway, so you clearly do a lot of good work day in, day out. Tell me what good work means to you.
Good work. Well, we have, as a prosecutor,
good
work as a prosecutor?
Or the court system. Like, I mean, why do we need this entire branch of government?
Well, okay. So I think that sometimes, people sort of misunderstand what prosecutors do. Prosecutors, have a different role than, attorneys in general. Mm-hmm. It's our job, not to just convict someone, but to seek justice. And seeking justice has always meant doing the right thing. And doing the right thing is different from, say, a defense attorney's goal, which is to get the best deal or to represent their client as well as they can and to the best of their ability. And so I, for example, can look at a case, and if it's clear the person did not commit the crime, then seeking justice is dismissing that charge against somebody. It also enables us to be able to advocate for victims or for people who feel like their voices may not be heard. So a lot of times you're a voice for maybe somebody who's voiceless. Yeah. And that's an amazing role to get to play. One of the things, though, that I love the most about my job and about being a prosecutor is that you really get to see a whole lot of regular people who have dedicated their lives to different portions of the community, and you get to see their roles all come together in the court system. And I'll give you some examples of that. We have Ashley's Place, which is the Sumner County Child Advocacy Center, and they work with children who are victims of sexual abuse. Mm-hmm. And they have a whole lot of resources over there. But the main resource that they provide are forensic interviews of children. And they'll talk to anybody from 2 all the way up to 18 years of age. And they'll even speak to adults, if asked, that have special needs or have some reason why they need a different environment than the police department to talk to someone. So we get to see the work that they do come through the court system when we have these interviews that are played in court, instead of a victim having to tell 4 or 5 different people what happened. And so that's a really neat thing. We also get to work with law enforcement officers that really care about their cases, that want to seek justice for victims and want to do the right thing. And we get to work with them on cases. And another example that I have that's good and positive is that we also have a lot of people who come through the system who have problems. So maybe they're addicted to drugs. And sometimes people are committing crimes for other reasons and they need help. and they don't necessarily need to be locked up for the rest of their lives. And if you can get those people help and stop what's causing the problem and make them a productive member of society and not have them come back, then you've really won. Mm-hmm. And so we also have the Sumner County Recovery Court program, where you see Tracy Bryant, and she's really the heart and the soul of that program. And one of the most positive things that you can do if you haven't done it is go over and attend a recovery court graduation and hear some of those success stories for the people who come through. They apply, they get screened, they get chosen and then they go through this really kind of onerous process. And when they're successful and they make it, it's amazing.
Yeah. I first got to know them with Leadership Sumner.
Yes.
I mean, I can't remember when I was in leadership, almost 10 years ago, I guess. And so I knew them. And then Ashley's Place, I actually did the United Way allocations interview. In that place, I'm allergic to dogs.
Yeah.
And I can't
the
remember
facility dogs.
Yes.
Yeah.
They have the dog that helps, cares for children,
comes to court.
Yes, it's Comfort.
Grady.
Thank you. I was trying to remember the name.
It was his birthday yesterday.
Oh, well, see, there you go. But of course, the dog, someone who's allergic, dogs like to just run up to me because they just know
you're allergic.
I'm gonna try to win her over, and it's not that I don't like them. It's just I'm gonna probably start to sneeze. But anyway, all that to say, the place was just like you walk in and it was just so comfortable and cozy, and just everything about it was just care, right? Just care. So I love that you gave those two examples because it's showing the good in our community, right?
With Ashley's Place, I've done a couple of leadership programs, and I had a juror that served on a case, and I'm in a leadership program with that juror now. And she told me just how touched she was by the work that was done by Ashley's Place. And then I sometimes will reach out to jurors after a trial. And I spoke to another juror who let me know that she was so impressed with what she heard from the witnesses that testified from Ashley's Place, and how impressed she was with that program. And I do think unless you're working with United Way, or you unfortunately...
I didn't know it existed.
Right. Unfortunately, unless you do my job, or you come through the court system for some reason, or God forbid you have to use that facility, then people just don't know about it. But it really does touch and make a huge difference for the people that it impacts.
Yeah,
so
for sure. I love that you said a lot of people don't understand what prosecutors do. Is there anything else you would like people to know about our court systems or what your job in general?
Well, I think that Sumner County has a really, a very strong law enforcement response. And I think that they do good work here in Sumner County, all of the different agencies that we have. And one of the things about a community for people is that you need to feel safe. And we do everything that we can at the Sumner County District Attorney's Office to make sure that this community is safe for the people that live in it.
Yeah.
And that may be prosecuting crimes vigorously and to the fullest extent of the law when needed. We try to take child sex abuse crimes very seriously and prosecute those to the fullest extent. Also, we are very serious about violent crimes. But we also try to make sure that if we see somebody that has a need or a mental health issue, that we address those instead of just, taking somebody and locking them up and throwing away the key if they can get help and what they've
change
done.
their life.
Yeah. And if what they've done isn't, very, very violent.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think we do good work.
You do. You do excellent work. So you have a hard job. I know I've seen several hard cases, even the past 12 to 18 months, that I know you worked on. So it is hard to continue to do good work, if you're not taking care of yourself or if you're trying to pour from an empty cup, as we like to say on this podcast. So what good things do you do to make sure that you are ready to continue to do more good work?
Well, we've already talked about I love to travel.
Yes.
Before I had children, I would always be excited about whatever my next trip was. I had children and I have two of them. It's now difficult to travel. I do travel some, but it's much more difficult to travel now. So one of my good friends suggested one day when I was kind of in a funk, because you do see people on their worst days over and over and over again when you do this job. They suggested that I get out in the community and start interacting with people on a more positive setting and not just in the court system, which was where I was primarily focusing outside. When I wasn't with my family, I was focused on work. And so sometime not long after the pandemic, I joined the Gallatin Noon Rotary Club.
Okay.
And started hearing, like you did when you did the United Way allocations, I started hearing different people come in and speak about all of these different agencies and all of these wonderful things that were happening that I quite frankly was not hearing about while I was just in the court system working cases. And so what I have started doing to kind of make sure that I'm seeing some positive things happening in the community is to get out and to get involved and to try to make a difference where I can in this community that I love. And so I've found some things that I really like to do through Rotary and some different agencies that I'm really enjoying working with. Really love the Second Harvest food distribution that Unlimited Potential puts on.
Yes.
I've been out to feed Sumner several times with volunteer opportunities. There's occasion there where you can take children to volunteer, and I really like for my children to have the opportunity to volunteer as well. So I've been trying to get involved in stuff like that to see more positive things.
I definitely see you. I mean, out and about, which is, it's really nice. Like I've seen you at chamber meetings. I've seen, those sort of things. I'm speaking at the Gallatin Rotary. I think it's in February sometime.
Okay.
So
it's a good crowd.
You'll see me there.
Are you talking about AI?
I think so.
Okay.
They're not specific in their ask, so I guess maybe I just get to pick.
You pick what you want to talk about. That's good. That's good.
I'm going to follow back up and just see.
What's your favorite thing to talk about?
Oh, that's hard. Right now it's AI.
AI. Yeah.
Just because there's a lot going on. It's constantly changing. Businesses, I think we're all trying to learn it on our own and to play. And, and of course I have, I'm on AI a ton. But I taught AI to more than 1,500 people last year.
Yeah.
And
so
that's
what I see you doing a lot is doing your classes, and we've talked about it some.
Yeah. But it's hard because a lot of times they're just coming in on a personal, like they want to learn how to use it.
Yeah.
But then once you start to use it, you're like, oh, this could really help in my job. And so now what we're seeing is businesses that there's no consistency, right? Everyone's kind of doing it on their own. And so we're just 2026, I think, will be a big year for developing policy, making sure that everyone in a business is on the same page.
Yeah.
That, if I'm using AI and somebody else isn't, then I might be way more efficient or productive in some ways. And so we need to make sure the entire team is trained, sort of thing. So, and it's really, there's a lot from a marketing perspective that we can use it for. And I mean, I would spend hours upon hours doing like a target audience analysis or something. And now it really can be done,
fast.
Very, very fast. And so I like speaking on that a lot because, there's lots of concerns, right? There's lots of concerns that I have with it. It is, it's going to change our world in ways that I don't know that we're even prepared for. But, how do we use it for good? How do we use it so that we get more time in relationship?
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Which I think it can do. It's just kind of harnessing it and making sure that it's not, you see some of the things where people create videos. I think it will cause some problems in the court system.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm sure it already is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see legally how some of this plays out.
Yeah.
But I think 2026 will be a big year for that. Maybe not the actual court cases being, solved. Is that the right word? Finalized.
Yeah. So for something like that to get to like a resolution where you're reading about it would be quite a long process.
Yes. So I don't, and a lot of people ask, like, how do you see AI kind of fitting in the political world? And I think a lot will happen this year in the sense of, we learn a lot, and there will be, I can see breaches happening and that sort of thing. But for it to impact our world like to me, we won't see it truly hit political until probably 28.
When you say hit political, are you talking about legislation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That and running on platforms and AI being a part of your platform sort of thing.
Yeah.
I just don't think we know enough. There's not enough. We can see, but you're taking like one-offs, right? Or, well, this part, instead of like looking at a big group of data, right? And so, or having court cases have been resolved.
Right.
And so we can say, well, we learned this in this court case, or we learned this in this, what this company did wrong, right? And so we're so early that it's hard to see how it's all gonna.
I think you'll see some, and I don't do this kind of law, but I think you'll see some lawsuits, and there probably already have been from, authors and things.
Yes.
Where
for
people
sure.
are using it to write books and generate stuff like that. I think eventually, I think some of that's being litigated now.
Yes.
So you may see some of that come down.
But you have people making millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And it's a total AI clone. And
Yeah.
so I don't know. I think 2026 will be a very, very interesting year for stuff like that.
How do you keep up with what's happening on the AI front?
So my word of the year is steady, because I got really overwhelmed last year. And so some of it is, when you are constantly trying to learn about it, it feels overwhelming, and I feel always behind, and I can't, that's just not a good way to live. And so I have a couple of different organizations that I'm a member of, and that have various podcasts and learning opportunities. And so what I'm trying to do is shut off everything but those two
choices.
Yeah. Because
that's probably good.
It's just,
there's so much.
Everyone has a different opinion, and, this person about this person, or this person, this company's invested, billions of dollars, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just like, until I can say, here's what's happened because of this, or here's how we can use this, as a society for good, then you go down rabbit holes, and it's just
too much.
It's too much. And I just can't live that way. I tried last year. I got overwhelmed. So I'm just steady. I'm going to just learn things at a steady process, and I don't have to be an expert on everything. So Tara, thanks for joining us today on A Good Pour. Thanks for the good work you do. You see a lot, and to see you also out in the community with a smile on your face and bringing joy there, I really appreciate. So thanks. Just keep it up.
Thank you, Kathryn. And a part of that, being out in the community and doing stuff, is for me, so that I can see the good things happen. So I appreciate you, and appreciate everything that you're doing in the community to make a difference. Thank you.
I'll see you at the Gallatin Rotary meeting.
I'll see you there.
Sounds good.